What's going on, Legion Beast and my fellow Go High Level entrepreneurs? Matty Eyes here from Ace for Locals. I wanted to do a quick updated video on A2P registration process, specifically through Go High Level. Even if you're not using Go High Level though, this should still apply to your business. And really, this video is for those of you who are constantly getting your A2P registration declined. Now, I do want to say this is not going to be a step-by-step video on completing A2P registration. I'll have a link to another video on how to do that. If you're just getting started with this, you can check that out. But this is more of an updated video for the sample messages that you have to submit. So I just got this screenshot from a client of mine in a industry that seems to be kind of tough to get registered. I think there's some industries that there's like certain trigger words that the algorithm doesn't like, or that the providers don't like, or whatever. In this case, this client is in the business loan and credit industry, and what I found is that people will often get approved for the brand portion of the registration, but not the campaign portion. I'll show you an example here. This is a test account, and you can see here my brand status is fine. It got approved, and that comes down to making sure, like if you're doing the EIN version of the registration, making sure that the information you have registered with the state through that EIN number and all that matches what you're submitting in your business profile. Also, again, I will remind you that I've just seen faster approvals when your business profile is done first and then you do the A2P registration. You can test that out. For my client here, it took about 6 days. I don't know if they submitted or because he originally sent me the message, he got declined on a Wednesday, then he got approved today, which is Tuesday. So that's 6 days. I don't know exactly when he submitted, but we're getting them approved pretty quickly when you follow this process. Submit the business profile first, then do the A2P registration. And just to go back here, the thing that I'm finding people typically get rejected for and their registration fails is this right here, the campaign status. And you can see I did a sole proprietor one here, and that's fine. But the campaign status, and I think what this comes down to is the sample messages that we're submitting inside of the registration process. So what I started doing, and I got inspired to do this from running Facebook ads. We do a lot of Facebook ads on this channel in all different kinds of industries. And what I found is that when I would get ad campaigns rejected, if I just changed up the verbiage of the ad copy or some of the questions inside of the lead form or something like that, all of a sudden my ad would get approved, no problem. So what I started to notice is there's trigger words that the algorithm doesn't really like, and it causes it to get rejected. So I decided to test the same thing here, and so far it seems to be working pretty well. And I'll have a link down below in the description to this document if you guys want to get it. It's updated from my previous video where I walk you through how to do A2P registration. But basically what we're doing is we're trying to be as generic as possible with our sample messages here. So I'll give you an example where so this first message here, campaign sends appointment confirmations and reminders, blah, blah, blah. You don't necessarily have to use this word for word. Obviously, it's going to depend on your industry and the type of business that you're in. But what we used to say right here, this is what changed, is appointments to discuss their options for growing their business. What it used to be was to discuss their options for getting funding and credit for their business. And so what we decided to do here was just be more generic, where instead of saying specifically funding and credit, we're helping them grow their business, which is what we're doing. We're doing it through funding and credit, but do they really need to know that? Probably not, especially if you just continue to get rejected with this registration. So I decided to just make it more broad and generic here, and to try and take out some of those trigger words. So when you're looking at the sample messages that you're submitting, what are some trigger words that you could maybe switch out for something else, or maybe just take out altogether? So right here it says sending long-term follow-up emails that provide educational content about, again, it says business growth now, but what it used to say is types of business financing, how the application process works, qualifications for financing. Like we're getting very specific about the type of content that we were sending. Now we're just saying it's all about growing their business. That's it. All right. Opted in through lead form ad offering free business. Again, it used to be free business funding or financing checklists. And right here, assistants growing their business. It used to be assistants getting funding and credit for their business. So I just took out a lot of what I imagine would be trigger words that are causing it to get rejected, and it seems to have worked. So if you guys want to get this document here, I'll have a link to it in the description. Use it as an example, something to help you get started. You know, if you're in a similar industry, I suppose you could just copy and paste it, but you know, make it relevant to your industry. Like if you're not offering ERC tax credits and you don't have an ERC qualification call, don't put that in your sample message. That could cause problems later on. But maybe you can use this. You have a different type of qualification call in your business, whatever. But just make sure you customize it to your business and industry. The main point, though, is try to keep it as broad and generic as possible if you continue to get rejected, and see if that makes especially with the campaign status part of the registration, and see if that makes a difference. So I hope that helps, guys. I know it's been kind of a frustrating process. Believe me, I share your frustration. It is a pretty annoying process. It's just something that we have to get done. And the key here, too, is also, you know, while this is frustrating, if you can figure it out, like doing stuff like this, testing different ways to get approved, it's going to put you light years ahead of your competition who just throws in the towel and just doesn't do this anymore. They just don't. Maybe they're going to focus on a different platform or, you know, different method of marketing, which maybe you should, you know, it's always good to have multiple marketing systems. But my point is, don't quit just because it's difficult. This really provides a good opportunity for you to go to the next level, because a lot of your competition is not doing stuff like this, and they're just throwing in the towel and they're not figuring it out, whereas your business is, and that's going to make a big difference. All right. So hope you guys are crushing it. Leave some comments, drop some feedback down below, any questions that you have about this, and I will talk to you in the next one. Matty Ice is out.